So we love starting with something about nature and animals, and this really shows God's creation. As the scripture says, for since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what he has made, so that men are without excuse. Romans 1:20. His creation all around us shows that he lives and he made it.
I was expecting some kind of reaction, but in the air is super chill. It all started one day when Uka was watching me paraglide. Uka would come running between my legs, and I was like, okay, you want to try? We can try if you want. Uka was having fun, and that was important for me. After a few months of training, Uka was finally ready to come fly with me. He was super excited. When Uka is in the air, he shows no fear. I cannot imagine something better to share with my dog. We have a super huge hug and cuddle time together. Uka loves the outdoor. He has the full freedom to enjoy his life. We created this bond together.
Look how this man has teamed up with his horse, and doing these exercises with his sheets is obviously terrifying for horses, for normal horses, as they are herbivores and preyed on by lions and other predators. So anything that gives them a fright is terrifying because it could be life and death. But look how this horse trusts him. I've been looking at some entrepreneurial projects like this hydroponic growing unit that can fit in a person's kitchen. Entrepreneurship is not only a mindset but a skill set. I heard a very famous businessman say, you're not born an entrepreneur, you are made. You can learn the skills to become an entrepreneur out of whatever passion you have. I was fortunate enough to partner up with an amazing young lady, Leon, in developing small pieces of land into farms, putting up fences, drilling boreholes, getting water, developing the land into agricultural land and then reselling it. But watch how we started. We started very small with a small hydroponic unit, learning how to grow things in the small before we started spending a lot of money jumping into the big. Here is one of the pieces of land we went to look at. Extremely beautiful. But watch how we started. We started small with a small hydroponic unit before buying the farm.
Wauw, dat is wel erg mooi.
Here we're testing various fertilizers to make sure we can grow the plants very, very well before we buy the farm. so that if we can't, we haven't wasted a lot of money.
End of week 2 / going into week 3, and Atlas is the winner this week. Look how beautiful these leaves are. Can you see? They're really amazing. And I think compared to the ones next to them, they seem a little bit bigger. So yeah. Here's the EHDG ones, and then Amazon. And then these are starting to look a bit better, but still not as good.
Guys, listen to this quote. If you don't have big dreams and goals, you'll end up working for someone else that does. Follow your dreams, follow your goals, be brave enough to take action.
We're in St Agnes, Cornwall, and as you can see, I've already got my Cornish pasty right here. And actually being so portable is the reason why pasties are so beloved here in Cornwall. It was because miners would take them down the mine with them to have for lunch. The times have changed, the mines have closed, but the pasties have stayed. How did they do it? We're here to find out. The key to keeping a pasty together when it's filled to the brim is all about the pastry itself. This type of pastry is neither puff nor short crust. It's called rough crust. Made with flour, lard, butter, salt, and water, rough crust is kind of the best of both worlds. This pastry has a slight flakiness to it, which makes it more flexible than short crust. Is that like a custom tool that you have?
I will not tell you the code to the safe where this goes, because without this we can't make pasties. This is a 7.5-inch pasty ring.
Okay.
This is a medium pasty.
And what you got it like handmade, just custom made?
Yes, yes.
for you?
And this is the large pasty ring. That's a 9-inch pasty ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of the fillings are humble ingredients like potatoes and onions, and their usage goes hand in hand with the humble origins of the Cornish pasty itself. Each ingredient is also there to aid the portable nature of the pasty. Potatoes are waxy and keep their shape when baked. Swede, or turnip in Cornish, adds sweetness. Onions and seasoning add flavor, and beef and butter provide the juices to create a nice gravy, as they say around here. At St Agnes Bakery, they use a cut of beef called rump skirt.
Rump skirt is the quality end of the skirt part of the animal. There's only a few kilograms per carcass. It's about twice the cost of the ordinary skirt, but what you get is a much more luxurious product. It's a lot leaner, it's a lot juicer, it's less gristly. And earlier you did mention the M word. We do not use mincemeat. That mincemeat, that have people who've not got out of the building alive for using the M word.
Right, bye, I'm leaving now. You may have noticed that ingredients are all added raw. This is a rule when making Cornish pasty. Why? Because they will cook all together in their own juices when the pasty is baked. And since the rough crust will hold them tight, nothing will get out until you give a bite. It's almost time to close the pasties, and there is a specific technique to do it. It's called crimping. Each crimper seals the edges of the pasty by pinching it at one side. Tradition calls for 20 crimps.
Each crimper's style is different. Each crimper's different. And when we're cooking the pastries, you can sort of tell, oh, that's a Jenny crimp, that's a Rebecca's crimp. Yeah. And also there's a difference between the right and left-handed people.
I really like this pastry. It's nice and soft actually on the inside, but flaky on the outside.
That's right.
Yeah. Nice hint of pepper there. The meat is very good. Yeah, that definitely doesn't taste like the M word. Doesn't taste like mincemeat.
No, we don't use the M word.
How long would you wait to eat them?
Personally, I prefer a pasty that's been out of the oven for about 45 minutes.
Yeah?
They'll stay warm for ages, and I like it so there's just a bit of warmth coming through, not too hot. You get all the flavour and the depth of the flavour then. So when you take your pasty, make sure it's been out of the oven for about 45 minutes.
Guys, before you go big into business and try and volume things and spend a lot of money. Obviously, try and become the best in the world in what you're doing. That is like a bold statement, but that's a kind of mentality you must have. In humility, always say and strive to be the best in the world in your craft and what you're trying to do. Then think big. How can I scale this? How can I produce more? How can I grow this business? Watch how this pastry machine can produce all kinds of pastries. So if you love baking and pastries, after you've produced a really good product, one of these machines can take you to the next level. Eat, sleep, change lives, repeat. Remember, your business, at the core of your business, must not just be making money, but changing people's lives for the better. Your employees and your products and services for your customers and clients. And then once again, entrepreneurship is not only a mindset, but a skill set. You can learn entrepreneurship. You can learn how to do it. You don't have to be born with it. Whatever your passion is, whatever your hobby is, I try and get the most extreme examples of people turning their passions into a business and earning good money from it, so that I can show you there's a very good chance you can turn your loves and your hobbies and your passions into a business. Look at this bull rider. He got paid $2.1 million for riding a bull for 8 seconds. What's that? 30 million rand for staying on a bull for 8 seconds. And these other young ladies making income out of their passions, horse riding and being in the outdoors as they rope these young bulls.
I would bet just about anything on it. I think he's got this one in the bag. I think this could be one of the best rides we've seen all week.
On the clock. It wasn't Percolator's best out, but that's the way you want to see a guy win it. Pacheco finds the promised land. He delivers the final blow of the Music City Knockout and is your champion.
Man, she's carrying on that family tradition, being the daughter of a world champion. Both brothers been to the national finals. Her husband as well has been there, and she is a force to be reckoned with. Let's go to one of the most talented horsewomen and ropers that we are going to meet tonight. This is Hope Thompson. Watch this horse bury up. Randy, you know the numbers. This was the most entered event of any competition of RFD TV's The American Rodeo.
Well, let's put that in perspective. 435 different contestants, different cowgirls showed up in Fort Worth. They all got the rope twice. That's over 900 runs, and then over half of them bought back for a third opportunity. Let's watch the Louisiana cowgirl joining us for the first time in AT&T. She's already earned a little spending money. As a matter of fact, she picked up. Oh!
Rope wasn't even clear when she was looking back. She said the deal. The rope wasn't clear. She was checking to give me that barrier. Gav jumped on her a little bit right there, and you see that. She's like, hey.
In order to become the 1%, you'll have to do what the other 99% aren't prepared to do. Listen to this guy talk and give out some tough love. You know, good friends, people that care about you, are prepared to tell you what you must improve on as well as inspiring you and complimenting you, but also telling you what you need to improve on. It's interesting, people that just give people compliments and never prepared to tell them what problems they have or what they should improve on can be the cruelest people at the end of the day. Because the fact of life is we need to work hard, we need to be disciplined, otherwise we will not have success.
And I really want to start off tonight by taking you back to the very first set of questions that I asked when I walked out here. How many of you are ready to be more successful? How many of you are ready to make more money? And how many of you are ready to have more fun in life? And every single one of you said, you bet. Isn't that right? That's how it works. You bet. Well, here's my take on that. No, you aren't. You are not ready to do any of those things. How many of you are 100% satisfied with every single area of your life? I mean 100% satisfied with every single area of your life. How many of you right now? One person. The rest of you, you're lying. You're 100% satisfied with your life exactly the way it is, otherwise it would be different. Your life's the way it is because that's the way you want it to be. And people go, Larry, That's how it really is. There's an old saying, it goes ready, willing, and able. How many people are ready to be more successful? Everybody says, oh, you bet. How many people are able to be more successful? Every single one of you is able to be more successful. Isn't that right? How many people are willing to be more successful? Let me tell you right now, not very many. Not very many. I do this for a living every single day of my life. I've spoken to 400 of the Fortune 500 companies over the last 19 years. I spend 250 days a year on the road talking to big old groups about what it takes to be successful. I see people stand in line and buy a book, love them, I appreciate it when they all buy mine. But I can tell you right now, it doesn't make any difference. You all stood in line today to buy people's stuff, and let me tell you right now, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't. You're going, oh, Larry, don't tell me that now. I spent a lot of money today. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, and here's why. While everybody can be more successful, very few people will be more successful. That's what it really comes down to, because they're not willing to do whatever it takes. You got to be willing to take action on whatever it takes. Isn't that right? And that's why most people aren't successful. Everybody could be successful. Very few people are successful simply because they won't do it. Not that they can't, they won't.